What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of SCNS Live, the Super Cool Nerd Show. Thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation for what is going to be our last episode of this wretched effing year of 2020. Thank you for joining us out there. Yes, this is it. You will see us after the holiday break because, you know, that's when I do my best drinking. So.
Yes, sir. Well, you've been doing your best drinking all year, I think.
I mean, I've had nothing but time to do. Thank you. Alcohol is an essential business. So anyway. But like I said, thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation. I am Jason the X. I'll do the show by myself. Over there, that's Rick.
What's up, guys? Look, my ugly sweater lights up, and it says "Merry Christmas." And if I were to stand up, it has the South Park characters, and it says "asshole" at the bottom. So Merry Christmas, assholes. Oh, it turned off.
These holly jolly mother. Anyway,
there we go.
And then over here, there's Cora, and she also has a very festive self with an advent calendar and apparently soon to be roadkill.
Oh my God, Jason, I apologize.
Whatever, you holly jolly bastards. I don't care. Bah humbug.
At least my advent calendar is filled with candy.
Is it? Oh, give me some.
Yeah, it's filled with candy from Sugarfina. So alcoholic fancy candy.
Hey, that's something. So, anyway, it has been a hell of a year.
Yeah.
And Rick had an idea. We're going to try to end this show with something good that happened in 2020 that we can reflect on and say that was a good thing that happened. I'm still working on it because also coming to the channel, I saw Monster Hunter. And I'm not happy.
To be fair, that was your poor decision, so.
Reviews will be coming in. It will not be pretty, and there might be alcohol involved. Just soon.
10 shots, 10 reviews.
2020 just was not done kicking me square in the junk. I was so ready for, you know how much I love Monster Hunter. You know, Corey, you know I was ready for that movie.
Oh yeah, I was excited for it too. I don't even play Monster Hunter, and I got excited.
But
then I got that shit, that hot garbage.
I didn't know what Monster Hunter was, but the moment he told me he's the guy who directed Resident Evil and Mila Jovovich, I'm like, no, I'm out.
You know, and it kind of plays into one of our stories tonight. But he also directed that first Mortal Kombat, which honestly, that first Mortal Kombat wasn't great, but it's a cult hit status. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great cult classic.
But in retrospect, was it a good film? At the time, maybe, I don't know. You guys,
get over here.
Yeah, that was a good part. Let me know if y'all agree. But let's go ahead and do this thing like we normally do one more time. It's time for some super cool nerd news. So we kind of had some breaking news right before we went to broadcast.
Yes, we did.
I think that's going to be the lead-in. I did have something more, but so Cyberpunk 2077. Everybody's been waiting for it. Everyone's been anticipating it. I hadn't gotten it yet because I didn't have a PS5, and I was like, I was going to wait until I had a PS5 to play the game. However, it appears that fate has been a cruel, cruel mistress to this game. And as you can see, I've got an image of Cyberpunk 2077.
Jason, why does it look like that?
Why is it? I chose
a low crappy?
I chose a low res image because that's what everybody's seeing on PS4 anyway.
Damn!
It is pixelated as hell. Like I was angry I didn't get to play it. Like not angry, but I was disappointed I didn't get to play it day one. But
you're glad now you didn't play it day one.
I'm good. So there have been a multitude of complaints about this game. Bugs, glitchy imaging, missions not counting, progress not counting, and even, well, people's junk hanging out of their pants. No, I'm not going to show an image of that. Trust me, it's there. Kind of hard to miss.
Let's also not forget they had to patch in a lot of things on a day one patch because they were causing people to have epileptic seizures. And I can't, so there was conflicting info that I saw for this. Some said that there was no warning beforehand, some said that there was like a whole paragraph. So I don't know if that paragraph was added after or before, or what the story is with that, but regardless.
I mean, I saw a lot of people posting things like, when is the real patch coming for this game? When are they going to fix some of the problems with it? And there were a lot of them. This is a lot of problems. And we were patient enough during this time. We were like, hey, if the game is buggy, it needs work, take it back and make it work. I think as a community in gaming, we have come to accept that. When a game is buggy, don't release it. We will wait. We will be patient. There's other things we can play. And I want to give credit to the community because I think they've become a lot more understanding over the years that we would rather have a fully developed, bug-free experience, especially with a game that came with this much hype.
Well, it was mostly, the bugs were mostly for the PS4 and the Xbox One, which I kind of get as understandable because the game was meant to be for the next platform, PS5, Xbox X Series, and PC. Now, granted, it's like, hey, not everyone got the new consoles. Like, a lot of people are still going to be using the old gen. Like, that should have also been a big point of contention. So, while I do fault them for not paying enough attention to, like, the PS4 and the Xbox One versions of it, at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, this game is meant for the next gen. So it's, I get both sides of it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, come on, guys, like, there's still millions of people that are still playing PS4 and Xbox One.
You put Keanu Reeves on this, man. You made me fall in love with Ikumi Nakamura. I love her, even though she left, which might have been good for her career, considering she's also a mommy now. Congratulations. But anyway, I don't understand why they chose to go ahead and this game has a lot of problems. Enough that recently, like we were saying, right before the show broke, right before the show came on, news broke that they were taking this game out of the digital store for PlayStation and offering refunds. There is the final nail in the coffin. When you're offering refunds for a game that, is a week old?
Barely. Weeks? No, it's barely a week old.
Oh, it's really disappointing. Look, I don't want to see a game fail. I don't, especially not one I was looking forward to. I'm not going to be that, I didn't like it anyway. I didn't care. I don't care. I did care. I want games to be successful. I want to play working video games. So do
you want the statement from SIE?
Oh, please, go right ahead.
SIE strives to ensure a high level of customer satisfaction. Therefore, we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via PlayStation Store. SIE will also be removing Cyberpunk 2077 from PlayStation Store until further notice. Once we have confirmed that you purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via PlayStation Store, we will begin processing your refund. Please note that completion of the refund may vary based on your payment method and financial institution. Now, here's something that I found interesting about this. They only mentioned PlayStation Store.
I think it's only a matter of time before others start falling in line. I do see Microsoft offering the same thing eventually. Probably, they're probably working on how to release that whole message now anyway. It's going to happen. And this is disappointing. It really is. I take no joy in seeing this. So if you're having problems with Cyberpunk 2077 and you guys feel that strongly about it, I recommend getting your refund now. I mean, you're still going to have the game, but if you're that unhappy with it, and a lot of people I've seen online are that unhappy with it, go ahead and get your refund.
If you go to IGN.com, which is where I got the story from, there is a link on there to apply for your refund.
And I say that not as like a revenge thing. Game companies need to have accountability. They do.
Yeah.
To turn out a quality product. Others do. So if you're that unhappy, yes, you should absolutely go get your money back. And they should take this as a learning experience. We should not have released this game this quickly, or I don't know. I don't know where things went wrong.
I feel like because they had so much hype around it, especially when they released that trailer, that a lot of the hype had to do, or a lot of the quick release was from investors. Because it is an invested in company. It's not like other studios where they can kind of keep pushing it back if they want to. Their investors probably told them, no, you have to put this out right now. You have to put this out right now.
And that is a shame.
Yeah.
Like I said, this was all breaking right before we came on. I'm pretty sure there was more story to tell on this. So we'll be watching. We're probably just going to post it on the Facebook page once we learn more about it. But it's disappointing. And that's really all I can say. There's no, whatever. There's no joy in this. And, yeah. Whew. I mean, even Microsoft they weren't going to make Halo to the new Xbox coming out, and they pushed it back. But granted, that is their license, their royalty. They can do whatever they want to it. So
yeah.
Disappointing, but hey, that's the way it is, and I honestly wish them luck with whatever release they do next or whatever improvements they can make to this game to make it playable. Hey, No Man's Sky won an award for Game Awards this year, and that game was trash when it first came out. So there's always hope. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Rick, you want to give us the first story of the evening? Besides that,
yeah, you know what? Let's go with a tirade that happened over with Mission Impossible 7 and Tom Cruise. So earlier this week, Tom Cruise went off on the crew members, specifically 2 crew members on the set of Mission Impossible 7 for breaking COVID-19 protocol that they have for the set. They were seen standing too close to one another in front of a computer screen, and he goes, and I quote, I'm gonna try to paraphrase his rant because it's quite long.
There's a lot of it.
If I see you do it again, you're effing gone. I'm on the phone with every effing studio at night, insurance companies, producers, and they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you mother effers. I don't ever want to see it again, ever. You can tell it to the people who are losing their effing homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on their table or pay their college education. That's what I sleep with every night, the future of this effing industry. We are not shutting this effing movie down. Is it understood? If I see it again, you're effing gone. So yeah.
Okay. I have mixed feelings on this. I don't like Tom Cruise. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of a number of things. And I don't like when someone in power is yelling at someone beneath them. But the man has a point. He has put up a lot of his own money to rent out a cruise ship to effectively quarantine this team while working on this. This is Tom Cruise's money. And in that rant, he was talking about the industry, the people affected. He's on the phone with insurance companies right now, which that's a whole other barrel of fish that I don't even want to get into. Getting these movies insured, especially with Tom Cruise wanting to jump out of planes and over buildings and stuff. So while I do not like Tom Cruise, I find it hard to really be angry with him over this. Cora?
I mean, I think he went, I'm sure he's under a lot of stress with everything going on the set of everything, with everything like that. So I can because like I listened to the tirade a little bit, and it sounded like he got a little too heated, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely
And
agree.
I won't lie, it was kind of cathartic because I was imagining someone yelling this at the anti-maskers all over our good state. And that was a very cathartic thought.
We all have personal issues on that.
But
From the Mapleberry in the chat also agrees with you on. It sounds like a huge overreaction, and I will admit, a lot of it was over the top. But like Cora did say, they are working on a movie, and they are under a lot of stress as well. So I kind of put some of that into it, just like you're saying.
yeah, specifically Tom Cruise in this instance, since he's got a bunch of money in it, and he's probably the one, since he's the one renting out the cruise ship, he's the one having to deal with all of the people in power, like the people that he would have to plus star in the movie. So,
and like I said, and his rant wasn't just yelling. He was talking about how they're trying to be the standard of how to do business in these trying times. And I kind of understand that part too. He mentioned the industry and the people that were losing money in their houses, and it was hurting their families. It sounded impassioned when you kind of look at it in that retrospect. And someone said Mapleberry said they love your outfit. She's wearing a tortilla.
I am a cozy blanket burrito.
Yeah. But back to this, apparently a crew. Yeah, I just noticed that cruise ship. Thank you, Spaceman.
You're banned. Go.
You want me to ban him? No. The best laugh of the night comes from the chat. Awesome. But this has caused some problems on set, though. Ricardo, if you want to finish off that story.
Yeah, 5 people have quit since because of the tirade. But I mean, again, this is a multi-country movie that's being shot. It's Tom Cruise. He's putting his reputation on the line, what's left of it. He's putting, there's a lot of people working on this. They've already had to shut down back in October when 12 people on set tested positive for it.
12?
Yeah. Yeah, back in October when 12 people on set in Italy tested positive for COVID-19. Production resumed a week later and returned to the UK 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, a lot of studios, they're looking and see, can we make films this big during these times? Like he said, they're trying to be the gold standard. With the production already have shut down once, I understand the pressure and the stress that Tom Cruise is under. Was it over the top? Maybe a little bit, but at the same time, it's like,
I think we can all agree it's over the top. I didn't know it was a 12-person outbreak, though. That's a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, how much money did Tom Cruise personally? This guy is probably set for life, but at the same time, it's kind of like, the studios, the people that couldn't work for that week, they don't have a paycheck. They don't have, they maybe not be able to pay rent, get food, whatever. So, I get it. I'm not overly mad about this. Was there a better way to do this? Sure, but at the same time, it's kind of like, the rules on this. They know the rules for the set. They know how strict they are about it. You break them, you're gonna get yelled at. So.
Yeah. So it kind of falls into their opinion, but yeah, I agree with a lot of it. Anyway, I did want to address some things that are happening in the chat around. Coro Deer is one of them. You're a burrito deer. These are the best. Keep them coming. Cora, give me a news story now, since everyone has drawn attention to you.
Yay! All right. Since we just had kind of we've had a couple of dour stories. Let me talk about something good.
Hey.
So this is going to be kind of a two-parter, just because both stories are a little bit small, so they're about the same thing. So we've gotten some new information from the set of Earwig and the Witch. We have an English dub cast, and we have some very good news. It is going to be screening. It's going to be an Oscar qualifying run, which has me really excited. I know the Academy doesn't typically like animated movies. They don't typically like superhero movies. They don't typically like horror movies. They just don't like these kind of movies. But I feel like this one, maybe that'll change. Ghibli usually has this like armor when it comes to that, so I think they'll be fine. But again, in addition to that, we got the English dub cast. I wanted to talk a little bit about two of the major players in this movie, which is Taylor Paige Henderson, who will be Earwig, the main character. She is 14 years old, and she has already landed the starring role in a Ghibli movie. Damn. She's set. She is also according to her website, she is a singer. She is going to be in a couple of off-Broadway productions coming soon. I just think that's really great that they found this young actress. She's absolutely precious. I'm really excited to see what she can do. I couldn't find any clips for her stuff. There was one on her page. I just didn't get a chance to watch it either. But excited for her. But we will also have the country music star Casey Musgraves playing Earwig's mother. Oh. Now, something interesting with Casey as well, which I found out because I was like, why is that name familiar? Looking it up. She was born in Golden, Texas.
Ooh.
One of ours.
So she Texas native. She is a country music star, and not only is she going to be playing Earwig's mother, but she will be she will be performing the English version of the film's theme song, Don't Disturb Me. Which, even better.
Look, I didn't think I could get more excited about this movie. Every time I see an image for this movie, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait. So, Oscar contender, new actress on the scene, welcome Taylor. Hope for many years of success. And I like me some Casey Musgrave. I do. Oh, baby, I do. Mm-hmm.
Her voice is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Girl. Anyway.
Yeah. In addition to those two, we have Pandora Collin as the matron. We have Alex. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Cartagna as assistant matron. We have J.B. Blanc as Mr. Jenkins. Logan Hannon as Custard. Summer Jenkins as Phyllis. Vivian Ruthford as Sally. Tom Bromhead. I'm sorry, my eyes are terrible. As the cook. Ava Kaminsky as the assistant cook. Vanessa Marshall as Bella Yaga. Richard E. Grant as the Mandrake. And Dan Stevens as Thomas.
And in other news, Casey Musgraves just got divorced in September, so... Anyway, no, seriously, every time I see something more for Earwig, I get just more excited about it. I love how this movie looks. I
enjoy that we've been getting like little trickles of things and not like big things all at once.
It's keeping the hype up.
It's a good way to keep the hype up. I'm sitting here going, okay, so it's going to be released when? Because I'm really excited. I really hope that when it's released that it is available for streaming. Because I do want to see it when it comes out, but I don't feel comfortable going to a movie theater because I just don't. And by the time this releases, I don't know what the state of the world will be. Maple, if it's in a good place, I'll go. But
Maple, once the movie is available, I'm sure we could get Cora to provide us a review for the channel for it. So count on that.
I'll probably just sit on the camera and just sing the opening song like 20 times.
I'll be giving you one for Monster Hunter soon.
Huh?
I'll be giving you a review for Monster Hunter soon. I just didn't have the alcohol and gummy bears needed to review that movie. So anyway.
They want to feel joy, Jason, not despair.
Oh, it's gonna be sad. Look, I'm reviewing that before Wonder Woman comes out, so hope is coming. just not yet. Anyway. All right. Okay, so unfortunately, I have to do a downer of a story, and I don't want to do this one, but it's basically we got, how can I put this tactfully, the crap hacked out of us as a nation.
Oh yeah.
Due to a vulnerability in a program called SolarWinds, which is a ticketing program used by a number of businesses, it has been reported that Russian hackers were able to infiltrate Department of Energy, Department of Transportation, and Commerce computers. And they also may have gotten a hold of some nuclear information as well. Nothing to worry about in 2020, right? It is. This was a very big attack, and a lot of sensitive information was compromised in the attack. Microsoft has taken a new approach to hackers. Microsoft will now be attacking hackers that use their platforms to commit these nefarious acts. Now, these steps amount to Microsoft first neutralizing and killing malware while wresting control over the malware's infrastructure from the attackers. After that, they're going to start attacking the systems that the hackers are using. And unfortunately, you're using a Windows platform and they be the people that made Windows. You're kind of screwed now. Basically, they're not going to be able, anybody using their platform to commit these acts, once they get a hold of them, they're not going to be able to keep up with just the structural things that Microsoft is going to do. So this is a new approach in Microsoft security, and they're basically saying, no more of using ROS to do this. We are fighting back against this. And I have to say, about damn time. Apple, I'm looking at you. Y'all ain't hack free. Let me see what else. Now, granted, also before I doom and gloom everything, they did not get complete control over the networks that they were going for. We do have safety and procedures that were able to catch them, but more in the act, not after they completed it. So
that's good.
And they have confirmed this was conducted through the Russian SVR, and they are basically Russia's group of super hackers. So yeah, they are state sponsored as well. I noticed that we ain't seen a report on this yet.
Of course not.
Kind of really want to see a report on this. I kind of do. I'd love to see somebody within our government actually acknowledge it and tell us what the hell is going on here. I know that we have some big issues about an election and stuff that happened, but this is more pertaining to issues that concern me. Just saying. I kind of want to know how much the Russians got a hold of, but I guess we're going to wait and see. I do want to say congratulations to Microsoft. Thank you for actually doing something. So,
way to go, Bill Gates.
I'm curious to see how far this is going to go, but at least they're fighting back, and in a big way. You're not going to use our platform to do this anymore. So, kudos on them. All right.
Kudos.
Rick, go ahead. Give me some other news.
Trying to decide if I'm going to go. You know what? Let's keep it on the down. And I'll end on a high one. So, back when Disney Plus launched a year and what's today? A year and a week. Wow, it's been a year and a month and a week or something like that. One of the things that was supposed to come to Disney Plus was a Lizzie McGuire revival, and they were going to bring back the original cast, including Hilary Duff as, of course, Lizzie McGuire. Unfortunately, that's no longer happening. Hilary Duff made the announcement on Instagram on Wednesday saying, I've been so honored to have the character of Liz McGuire in my life. I know the efforts and conversations have been everywhere trying to make a reboot work, but sadly, and despite everyone's best efforts, it isn't going to happen. I want any reboot of Lizzie to be honest and authentic to who Lizzie would be today. It's what the character deserves. So this more or less comes down to, I know Hilary Duff had talked about her wanting the Liz McGuire reboot to be more about adult struggles, the struggles of becoming an adult from being a young adult to a full-fledged adult since Hilary Duff is in her 30s now. But Disney still wanted like the old school bubblegum pink, happy-go-lucky, oh, this silly thing happened, how are we going to fix it type of deal. So, but Hillary wanted very much a more realistic, real world problem type of Liz McGuire, and that's not the kind of thing Disney goes for. So, yeah, as of right now, this show is kaput. It's no longer happening. So,
it's interesting though, because when they showed the trailer for Disney Plus, this was in there. They had filmed footage of this in there. Because everybody went.
Yeah, it was them kind of reading some of the scripts and stuff. It wasn't like any actual.
Well, there was like a scene. It was like a scene. It looked like it was outside. She was speaking to someone in a car. It was basically like some "I'm back" thing, or something to that effect, which is kind of weird. I thought they had filmed stuff for this. So
no, and they originally also had Terry Mimsky, who was the original creator and revival of the show, on there, but at the beginning of the year, they actually removed Terry from production. They fired him. But like I said, Minsky and Hilary Duff both wanted to do a more adult version of Lizzie McGuire, and Disney wants a show that would appeal to kids and families, something more to the original show. So. But yeah, at some point everyone was on board, but at some point Disney balked and said, no, we want the family friendly, kid friendly version, which I kind of get, but at the same time, it's like the generation that grew up with Lizzie McGuire is like my generation. Cause I was in like 5th and 6th grade when Lizzie McGuire was huge. So it would appeal, I guess to more of my gen, and Cora's gen, for the show. So, it is what it is. She even did ask for Disney to move this series over to Hulu, since Disney now does own Hulu, along with like half the world. But Disney didn't go for that either. So, but yeah.
it's disappointing.
Let's see. So what?
It's disappointing because I know some people did want this, but also, let's look at some of the nostalgia acts out there that have failed here recently.
Like Fuller House?
Are we doing too much of this?
Hollywood's running out of ideas. Like, we don't have that much OG content as much anymore. The 90s were big for it because, technology was on a rise and we had so much just better stuff. But nowadays, you get one original idea for every 10 reboots. At least I would think. Cora?
Yeah. Like, there's some things that, like, the reboot worked really well for. Like, the Animaniacs reboot was fantastic. But there are some...
Oh, yeah.
But that also works with the premise of the show. It's always been very topical as a show, and dear Lord, do they have a lot of material now to work with.
Yeah.
And they worked with it very well. But when you take a show like Full House, and then make it more modern with Fuller House, you kind of taint the original feeling that the show had, in a way. Because, like, you either couldn't get some of those actors to come back, or they came back just because they wanted a paycheck, and it's not the same. And, like, at first I was excited for some of these because I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to see some of this because I remember loving it as a kid. But now it's like everything.
Yeah.
If it was a lot less, then I think that it would be more successful and it wouldn't bother us as a people as much. But because they saw like 1 or 2 reboots that worked, and they're like, ooh, we're going to do that now. And it's saturated the market to a point that the nostalgia feeling isn't there anymore for the show, which would have been the draw for it.
Yeah.
Sadly, she's right. So, okay, well, I guess, it's not like we're not getting anything else new from Disney Plus. We don't have much to really complain about. We're getting so many other new shows, so yeah. Okay, Core, go ahead with your next story.
All right, I'm gonna bring it back up a little bit. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm lying. I'm in limbo how I feel about this. So Netflix announced that they will be adapting Yu Yu Hakusho into a live action series. I am conflicted, to say the least. If you guys have been around for a while, you know Yu Yu Hakusho is probably like my favorite anime, at least next to like Saint Seiya and stuff like that. But like, I love Yu Yu Hakusho. It was probably the first one that I became really super obsessed with when I was in high school. It has a lot of meaning to me. The story is absolutely wonderful. The characters are memorable and great. So I'm nervous about a live action series for this. We don't have much more information than that. We do know that the director will be Kazutaka Sakamoto. I did say producer, right? Yes. He's going to be the executive producer. And Akira Mori will also be producing as well. Sakamoto has, he's already said that he grew up with the original manga and he's really excited about it and stuff of that nature. That does not mean I'm less nervous. Apparently the series will have people from Japan and abroad working on it. So we will see.
Cora, can you move your mic away from your neck? Maybe that would help. You really started to like kind of vibrate a little bit there. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, it's still there. Okay. Actually, it sounds better though.
Yay.
Sorry.
But I don't know. I'm just very unsure. And even though the Cowboy Bebop live action also has, or Netflix has a live action for that coming out too, and the cast is what's keeping me from being less nervous about it, I'm still really nervous about this.
Are you very cautiously optimistic?
Yeah, because
are you cautiously neutral?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm actually not sure where I stand with it currently, other than unsure and nervous. Because, the show itself, the characters are very human. Even the characters that are demons have very human qualities, which is great. But their designs, a lot of them aren't very human. Some of them are definitely monstrous. Like the character of Toguro, who is probably at least 10 feet tall. I don't know if he's actually that tall, but he might as well be. He's like Yusuke is like half his height and size. I'm pretty sure we could fit 10 Yusuke's inside of one Toguro. So he's huge. So there's going to be a lot of CGI and a lot of special effects that they would have to do in this series, depending on how much of the series they plan to do. They only plan to do the first arc. They might be able to get away with doing less. But if they in the future want to do the whole series, they're going, the show gets progressively more and more complex with its designs and with its fight scenes and things of that nature, especially when you get to the Dark Tournament. So there's that. And I know CGI has come a long way since the days when it was new. But that doesn't mean using CGI is cheap.
Yeah.
And for the amount of CGI they will need to do, I don't know if it will be worth it in later seasons if they continue. Now, they could change that with changing up some of the character designs, but then you end up taking away a lot of the personality of the character with that, if that makes sense.
No,
I don't know.
look,
There's a lot of factors.
The community as a whole rightfully has, rightfully can take reservation with this property being brought. It is a beloved property. I got introduced to it on Adult Swim, and I loved it. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I have hope for this. I do. I really do. I think it's more of I want it to be good, but also I think Netflix has done rather well with some of its original properties and some of its translations. Yes, Mapleberry, Death Note. I know. And yes, I said the same thing.
Oh,
but
you know what? If the CGI team behind Death Note is on this, we're fine. Because that was the best part of that movie.
This is true. This is true. Ah, The Witcher. Wait a minute. The Witcher? I thought The Witcher was great. I don't know if Mapleberry is arguing.
Oh, no. I didn't see The Witcher, so I can't say for certain.
Oh, I did. And I loved it. I just hate how they told the story. But I have hopes for this. I have hopes. I think like I said, I'll see. Because I'll definitely watch it when it comes out. It's Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm going to watch it. So,
even if the trailer is hot, stinky garbage, I'm still going to watch at least the first episode.
And Mabel confirmed, yes, she was saying positive, that Witcher was well done. And I think Netflix, yes, they're going to have some missteps along the way, yeah. But I think I'm going to be hopeful for this one. Because I want it. I do want it. It's been a while since anything was done on it.
I just have one big request of you, Netflix, for this series.
Netflix, listen.
If you do not make Kurama absolutely gorgeous pretty boy in this series, if you try to man him up in terms of looks or change him to a girl, I will find who made that decision and I will shit in their bed. Do not test me.
Okay, what if they cast Eugene from the Try Guys? Would that be okay?
That would be perfect. Actually, I think he would do better as Yusuke.
Okay.
Just in looks. But I will accept him as Kurama and he would be perfect still.
I love Eugene.
I think people in the chat would help you commit these horrible acts. So y'all
look, Netflix
be ready.
Netflix already ruined Saint Seiya and Shun. I'm not letting them do this again.
Justin Bieber.
Hey, third time's a charm.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Someone in the chat.
Third time's a charm.
Spaceman Spiral. Okay. I've got hopes for it. So I'll be watching. We don't have any information on release yet. It's still that new. So
yeah, I think it dropped either today or yesterday. Okay, it dropped a couple days ago, but still, it's still new.
All right. Well, okay. So moving on, I do got. Let's see. What do I have? Sadly, oh no, I got some good news. I'll start with some good news.
Yay!
We got our first image for Coming to America with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. The original Coming to America movie was made in 1988. And I thought to myself, that's 22 years ago. Wrong, Jason. That was 32 years ago. I remember this movie. Also, look at this image of Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. Did they forget to age?
Yes.
Because they look like Prince Akeem and Sumi are. So the plot of the movie is Prince Akeem is set to be the new ruler of I was gonna say Wakanda. It's God, I just said it. I'll figure it out. Anyway, he is set to become the ruler of his African nation. James Earl Jones will be reprising his character as King Jofi Jamir, and on his deathbed, he's going to request that the prince bring back his illegitimate son from the States. Apparently, while the prince was in New York, he sired a child. And it's funny because the actor they chose is exactly 32 years old.
They knew.
Leslie Jones will be playing the mother, by the way. So I'm wondering where all this happened with the first adventure into Coming to America. But yeah, this was a funny movie. I love the original movie. So I'm certainly excited and I'm glad to see them back in the role. This will be coming out in spring 2021, and it was originally going to be released by Paramount. Amazon has the rights to it, and they will be releasing it on Amazon Prime. So look for that in the spring. So some good news. It only took them 32 damn years to make a sequel to this movie.
So I have to the spring to watch the first one for the first time.
Does this break the record for? Or I think Blade Runner held the record for how long it took a sequel to. I gotta see, because 32 years, man, 32 years.
I'm gonna look at a longest time between.
We'll look. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But this is exciting to me. I love this movie. I did, and I think Eddie Murphy still has it. What?
Mary Poppins, 54 years.
Dang, that's right. That's right.
Followed by Blade Runner, 35 years.
I certainly think Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy still have the comedy chops to pull this movie off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm ready for Coming to America. So
okay, so let me ask you this, because I've never seen the first one. I've never seen the original. Would it hold up today?
Yes, absolutely. I watched it not too long ago.
Okay, cool. Because like some movies don't age very well. You're just like,
oh no, Coming to America ages well. Louis Anderson is returning for his role in it.
Louis.
Yeah, Louis Anderson was in it. Samuel Jackson was it was one of his first roles.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a bit part in the movie. So, yeah, I like the chat is agreeing with me. It's Zamunda. Thank you very much. I think I said Zamunda and I just couldn't say it again because I'm old, because I was alive when this movie came out. But anyway, yeah, it is a great watch still. Have you seen Trading Places, by the way?
No.
You should watch Trading Places before
I'm not the biggest Eddie Murphy fan.
Okay.
But I've also never seen his old stuff, so
this one with Dan Aykroyd was really good, but it also, you would literally be watching Trading Places to get a joke that's in Coming to America.
Okay, because like for me, like growing up, like the last thing I remember seeing Eddie Murphy in was Norbit.
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna talk about it anyway. We're gonna talk about Coming to America, coming in the spring to Amazon Prime. I couldn't be happier. So, all right, Rick, kicking it back over to you. Let's bring this show up.
I've got some good news if you have Roku, because HBO Max is not going to be on Roku. That is right. Finally, Roku and HBO Max, so Warner Brothers, all that, were able to come up with a deal and finally bring HBO Max to Roku. That was one of the few that I think that was actually the last one that the streaming service device thing didn't have HBO Max. So if you have a Roku and that's the only way you watch anything, now you can download HBO Max starting on the 17th. Actually today's the 17th, right?
Ooh.
Yep. Starting today, you can download HBO Max on your Roku.
Okay.
And get it ready for Wonder Woman on Christmas Day, which is a little over a week away. We're getting Wonder Woman in over a week. So yeah, and along with that, Roku's shares were up 1.1%, up to $329.48 a share. So this deal brought up Roku's stock up. People that have Roku's can now watch HBO Max. And then get, Wonder Woman, and they can get all of Friends and South Park and whatever else. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. They're going to have the West Wing on there after the new year. It's great. Roku will now be able to resell the HBO Max service on the platform's customer base, which will be $14.99 a month, just like all the rest of it. Per Roku standard terms, the company takes a 20% cut of subscription revenue and 30% of advertising inventory. However, in the case of the Warner Media deal for HBO Max, that may be different. So we'll see how that kind of happens. So that's all of it. Fire Stick, HBO, Roku, PS, the PlayStation systems, the Xbox systems. I think I can get on my LG TV now because my LG TV has apps on it, and I think it's through Roku, so I should be able to go on there and download it. I'm gonna check after the show. But yeah, if you have a Roku, guess what? Go and download HBO Max after the show, of course, and start streaming HBO movies, shows. Watchmen, you can watch Watchmen now on there. So there you go.
Man. Cool. Okay. Well, Cora, the last story is going to go to you, and then we're gonna do a little reflection on 2020. So bring it all the way up, Cora.
All right. So a few months ago, we talked about a new sports anime that is coming out called Burning Kabaddi. And I very badly tried to explain Kabaddi because I don't know jack about it. This is a popular sport in India, which is where it originated. It's spread over Southeast Asia, including like Malaysia and other countries such as that, like Pacific Islands. Japan is included in that. Apparently, Dallas also has a Kabaddi league. Didn't realize that, but it's there. Basically, the sport, just to give a quick overview, it's played between two teams, and your objective is for a single player on offensive to score points and not get tagged out. Think tag in soccer, and that's the best way I can describe it. I recommend watching videos, but we have a sports anime being made about this sport, and we got our teaser for it today. It looks really good. I was really excited to see how the animation was going to look because all of the still images looked good and the manga art looked great, and it looks like they've translated it beautifully. I'm really excited. I really can't wait for them to actually release like an actual trailer so I can, get more. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm sitting here going, okay, that's nice. Now where's the next one? I need more, please.
Not going to lie, the animation looks really good.
Right? It looks really dynamic. You can you get a chance to hear some of the voices if you watch the actual trailer instead of our clip show here. The acting sounds really great. I also just really like the character designs. I like that your main character is the character with the silver hair and red eyes. And I think I mentioned this before. Like, to me, that's just a very interesting design choice for a main character. Just because that's usually a design that's reserved for like the villain of a show or like the rival in a sports show or something like that. And he's the main character.
I see a lot of distinction in the faces, and I feel as though there's a familiarity for some other anime in there. Like I see some inspirations being drawn for some of those faces from other anime, but they're also very distinct, and I like them.
Yes, that too. They did their homework with this, which is very good. I need to see if the creators have done other sports animes before. Usually, at least back in the day when I first got into sports anime, it would be like for the creator of Prince of Tennis, he was a tennis coach at a college level, and so he wanted to make a comic about it. Or the creator for iShield 21, while he wasn't a coach by any means for American football, he was a fan of American football. So it's usually like someone who's a big fan or someone who actually taught the sport. I'm interested to see where the creator got the inspiration for this. Did he play it? Something like that.
Mapleberry from the chat, the body builds are different. That's what I was looking at. Yes. So they're very distinct. That played into it, yeah.
Which actually, looking at images for Kabaddi, you do see a lot of very distinct bodies as well, which is a nice touch as well.
They're all standing differently too. Like
yes,
the posture. So body build, yeah, it looks very unique. I like
it. For like a 1-2 minute teaser.
I'm interested. You did what you had to do.
I'm just really hoping it doesn't turn out like the ballroom anime, which this is no shade to anyone that likes it, but y'all need to look up some of the animation for that because my back hurts just looking at it. Backs don't bend that way. Necks aren't that long. Again, backs don't bend that way.
Cor, I have a question for you. Is there any sport that you want to become an anime? Is there anything that hasn't been made into an anime that you would say, you know what, I would love for this to be a sports anime? Anything like off the top of your head? I know this. I just kind of threw this at you just now, but because I don't know. I know there's been a lot of sports animes out there. I know there's Yuri on Ice. I know there's a swimming one. There's a volleyball one. There's one about cycling. But like, is there anything that you would want to become a sports anime that you can think of that hasn't been made yet?
I'm literally going through my head right now, and as I'm like, oh, that would be good. The first thing that pops in my head is like, oh, nope, that has one already. Oh, nope, that has one already. Nope, that one has one.
Is there a rugby anime?
Yes,
Oh,
there's several.
Oh wow!
There's
Like,
more than
watch
one.
them and I know they exist.
Like, rugby, there's
Fencing?
several soccer. Huh?
Fencing?
I
Yes,
don't know if there's
yes,
an
there
anime
is.
for it. There is a manga for it, though.
Ah,
It's actually called Fence. And it's actually really good. Highly recommend
well,
it.
there you go. Then hopefully, maybe they'll turn that one into an anime. That'd be cool. If it isn't one already.
Well, all right, guys. Well, we do got to end this show, but we're going to end on a high note. Guys, we will be back after the new year. Make sure you're over on our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram pages. We'll still be posting news stories on there, but the live show and everything will be going down until after the new year, and we'll announce when we're going to come back. But Rick had a good thought. This has been a trying year for everyone out there. I know it's something we've all kind of shared. It's been an experience for all of us. But even with this horrid of a year and experiencing things we haven't experienced in 100 years, there has to be some good in it. Something that we can look back on and say, you know, not just we survived it, but something good happened, no matter how small it is. Rick, there was your thought. What did you want to share something good that happened in 2020?
For me, okay, I'll do one that was like big for a lot of people, and then I'll do one that was personal for me. The big one I thought was them releasing Hamilton on Disney Plus, because I know there were still a lot of people that had tickets for this year, but of course couldn't go see it. And there was also a lot of people that haven't had a chance to even get tickets for it. And we got to see the original Broadway cast perform Hamilton, and the fact that they brought it on Disney Plus a year and a half before it was set to be released in theaters. So the fact that we were able to watch this musical, and I mean, I got to see it last year. It was great, but seeing the original Broadway cast, like, there are certain parts, like even after my 30th watch, that I will still tear up on, just because of how well done it was. So one of the big things I would say for a lot of people this year was Hamilton. For me personally, I'm going to mention I was able to read a lot more books this year. I was able to try a lot more whiskeys and rums, and also getting a chance to visit and actually meet my friend Roz. We've known each other for almost 10 years, and we managed to find a way to meet up and actually meet in person, and got to hang out with Roz for a couple of days. So that was definitely a huge highlight for my year. Someone that's been there for me for almost 10 plus years now. So yeah, I would say being able to read more. I probably read easily 20 books this year, probably a little bit more than that, and I'm currently reading like 3. So that's been huge for me. So yeah.
Cora, anything you want to reflect on?
Hades was released and existed and fueled all of the thirst that I didn't know I had for not just the very attractive characters, because Lord, but also a genre of game I have never played before and really enjoyed it. I've never played a roguelike game before, And Hades was my first, and it was really fun. I don't know if I would play another one, to be honest, because they just did this one so perfectly that it set a bar like very high. That and yeah, that.
Well, I was going to kind of be with one with gaming. I like that Nintendo has really established itself this year, especially with selling out their consoles and making themselves. I think this year was definitely the year that they showed we're still a contender and don't count us out. As far as like a platform with lots of gaming, independent games, I think it was Nintendo's year, despite the next gen systems coming out. They still. There's also a very interesting article over on Polygon with Doug Bowser that he's laying out the future of Nintendo. It's a very good article. I definitely recommend going to read it. But I would say this was definitely their year. And as a gamer and someone that grew up on Nintendo, I'm glad to see them where they are, where their place is in this business. So yeah. But the last thing, and it's gonna sound cheesy, but it was this group as a whole. I think we started out this year with a really good stride, redesigning our set, everybody kind of having some input in it, the flow of the show, just things were going so well before this pandemic hit. And I hated to see that stymied, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't there with as far as the things we were doing and what we were planning to do. Big things were going to be happening, but they're still going to happen. We're just waiting a little bit for it. So I do miss all of my friends. And I hope in this, when we come back next year, we're just one step closer to getting back to normal. So I also miss our D&D games. But anyway. But I always say our better days are ahead of us. I totally believe that. And yeah, that's all I got. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation and for sticking with us. We wanted to keep giving y'all this show, even if it wasn't exactly what we wanted. And not everyone is here because everyone has their own issues. Understand that, yes, I know we don't have all of the cast here, but everyone's dealing with their own personal things right now. Trust me, they're going to be back. It's just a matter of time. So thank you guys for sticking with us out there. We're still going to have some videos and stuff up on the channel while we're on break, but go enjoy your holidays, enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your New Year's Eve, and we'll see you when we come back after the new year. So if you want to follow us at facebook.com/SCNS Live and on Twitter and Instagram at SCNS Live. If you want to follow us personally, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JasonTheX. Rick.
You can follow me on Instagram under NerdyRick89. I'm doing the 366 day challenge. Today is day 352. And I've decided I'm going to continue doing it next year. Another 300. Next year will be 365 days since it is no longer a leap year. But this will be the third year in a row that I'll be doing it. It's been a lot of fun. I've had people reach out to me, tell me, hey, keep doing it because it's really fun just seeing the different things in your life every day. So I'll be doing that as well, continuing next year. And also, quick rest in peace, Jeremy Bullock, the original Boba Fett for Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So may you rest in peace. He was 75. Cora?
Right. If you want to follow me for art-related things, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CorodonoArt. Also on that Twitter, you will find lots and lots of Suikoden. We just celebrated the 25th anniversary of the release of the first game, and today is the 22nd year anniversary of the second game's release.
All right.
So lots of good art to be had.
Woo-hoo.
If you want to follow me for Final Fantasy related things, mostly Final Fantasy 14 and screenshots, you can follow me on Twitter at chaotic_noodle. We did start the Starlight event this year, which is the Christmas event for Final Fantasy 14. It's probably one of the most wholesome events that this game has. Not only is everything covered in Christmas decorations and snow and snowmen, but the quest line for it every year is very heartfelt and has family and love at its core, which this year was no different. So if you haven't done it yet, please do it. Plus, you get a snowman that you can ride around in.
All right. Well, that's it for us, guys. We'll see you next year. As we always say around here, keep on nerding.
I'm nerding.
Nerd. Or else.